Twitter. My name is Kid Pro, KIDPRO.
And where can they find
You
you?
can find me at IAMKIDPRO on Twitter and IG. On TikTok, it's this is Kid Pro.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm actually super excited to talk to you
Oh,
again.
likewise, likewise.
We in Full Sail right now. This your first time in Full Sail,
Yo,
right?
first time here. We were talking about that when I was walking in. Like, this is amazing. Like, I'm sure for everybody else here, it's like nothing because they've been here and seen it so much. But for me, first time, I've heard so much about it. This is really dope. I like it. Yeah.
If you could come here for like any degree program, would you like do anything specific?
Oh man, I mean, the rapper in me wants to become a better engineer, so I'd probably do audio engineer. But when you mention film, it's something that I've really like gotten more interested in, especially since the pandemic. I kind of got more into like making my own videos and editing my own videos. So if I had the chance today, I'd probably pick that over engineering. I just like become so much more interested in that lately.
Do you have any like projects that you've been wanting to do with like the film side of anything?
Yeah, back before I left Jersey, I had a team set up. Me and my partner, my creative director for my album. Our plan was to shoot the 11 tracks, to 11 videos to our 11 tracks of an album that we made. We got through like 5, 6 of them before I had to get stuff going and move over here to Florida. But that would have been the rest. Hopefully, we can still finish them. You know, make the trip back and forth, or the power of the internet, we can just kind of do it and help each other edit the process too, so we can still get it done.
So it's definitely something you want to come back to.
Absolutely, it's like an unfinished project, it's unfinished business, so I got to get back to it and get it done.
Do you guys still like talk to each other? And
Hell yeah, it's my girl Sade. Shout out to Sade. You already know, man. We had a podcast together along with my man Villa and Epidemic. It's called the Lyrical Fix Podcast. We was on for 2 years. 2 beautiful years, man. There's a lot of good times. I learned everything about just like a lot more about myself in the podcast process. I didn't know how much like therapy it would have been like for me, because it's kind of like rapping. Like when I rap, usually that's my therapy, but me doing the podcast weekly with my friends, like that ended up being like therapy in itself. Just talking about bullshit and current events and hip hop and relationships and all that stuff in between. It ended up being a really good process for me. Yeah, it was dope.
Well, the fact that you said relationships, I wasn't even want to take it here, but I definitely wanted to kind of take it to relationships, because I feel like men in the world right now, how they look at women, how their viewpoints are, it's like really crazy. So, wait, do you have a daughter or a son? I think you said you had a daughter.
I have 2 sons.
Oh, you 2 sons.
2 sons.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would be your advice for a daughter if you were to have, and then a message to your sons, like as they're like younger versions?
Advice to my daughter if I had a daughter. Oh man, that's tough. I feel like whatever I say, I'm gonna get harassed by the girl dads. I would say first and foremost, just to respect herself and love herself above all. Recognize that she's precious and that she's cared for and she's loved by her family and her friends. She should always remember that and never feel like she's less than that. I think, and that right there will set up the confidence that she needs to do whatever she wants in life. And as long as she knows that she got, my support and everyone else's support, that'll be that. For my boys, I say respect everyone and respect yourself. First and foremost, I think it's all about that. And be the change that you want to be, and listen to your dad. I'm gonna say that too.
Okay, that was like a real surface and real light. So we're gonna try to like get in there a little bit more, especially because I feel like, have you been hearing like the recent things that's been going on like just around the scene?
Now when you say that, like what exactly around the scene? Like the music scene?
Yeah, just not heavily as far like the underground scene, just like the community with
the community. I mean, I heard about some nonsense a couple weeks ago at a showcase.
Yeah.
Like, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I still don't know the whole story because I wasn't there, so I don't like to make assumptions. I don't even know who was involved, but I just heard that a male performer got a little out of hand, and it involved some females as well being disrespected. That's as far as I know, and that there may or may not have been possibly firearm involved. That's all I know. Like, I ain't trying to get into the gossip or nothing like that. So
I think it could be like really tricky because for me, I just been there and just been able to witness everything. I think you're somebody who's like heavily in the community on like the genuine side.
Yeah.
Just also being like a minority and everything. Just moving as a musician, a man, it could be hard, just like the way that society is. Just kind of like, what's your viewpoint on just like us as a community trying to build and like I feel like the things that we're faced with is not being able to grow and come together because like it's always just like a competition or like an ego type thing or whatever
Yeah,
the
we
case
got to
may be.
get. It really all starts with communication. You know, as cliche as that sounds, it sounds corny, but it really is the best way to kind of fix things. I was talking with a friend earlier about communication, why the way that she feels that she comes off a certain way when she speaks to people, and people take it a certain way and they don't want to come back and talk to her because of the way she delivers it. Sometimes I feel like that's how it is with artists, because so many of us are just, or pretty much like 95% of us are just super sensitive. So we're not really great at taking criticism. We say that it's, positive feedback, but we really just feel like insecure and we don't want
Yeah.
nobody to really put down anything that we created on our own. And I think when you take that out and you take that outside and you involve stuff like competition and you throw a little liquor into the mix and dudes get their feelings hurt and they don't like the score that they get for judges, sometimes it can lead to some stuff going down.
That's crazy that you said that because I definitely think it's a sensitivity thing. But I don't even think it's like
Absolutely.
just within like musicians because like
It's sensitive.
America, the world is sensitive right now.
Yeah, people just don't want to be honest with themselves sometimes. Like, they're insecure. They got a lot of flaws that they don't want to talk about. Everybody got something that they don't want to bring to light and talk about. But me myself, I got certain things I don't want to talk about that I don't feel comfortable talking about, just like you would, just like anybody else would. As an artist, I think I learned over the years, just to, like we were talking about before in the car about having thick skin. You build that up over a while. You just get used to being rejected and hearing no and having the opportunity close on you, having someone else get something that you were looking for. It happens and you just kind of deal with it and it makes you stronger. Because those other wins you get, you celebrate those and you don't worry about those other L's that you took because they lessons at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But what you were saying as a minority, yeah, I mean, we already get a bad rap. We already looked at a certain way, and especially if we do hip hop or like R&B music, we already looked at a certain way too. And when we engage in stuff like that, it's not really helping. So what it comes down to is, I think, um, just more communication, more unity between us, and really letting us know each other that we support, and letting people know, yo, it ain't that serious. Like we don't gotta take it to that length. Like there's other ways to go about this. Be a lot easier, and everybody could just like coexist a lot easier and get stuff done a lot easier if we really just open up and talk.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
So wait, I don't remember like I don't want you to you don't have to throw your age out there, but you are
Yeah.
like definitely a little bit older than me, right?
Yeah, a little bit older than you.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Let's say 30 something.
Okay.
No, 36, 36.
So yesterday I went to church actually, and it was a younger girl that had spoke up, and she was just basically talking about like moving forward and how she was struggling to um, just focus on like the process of things. And I feel like me and my generation, we kind of ignore and we underappreciate the journey. So someone as an older generation, what would you say for newer artists, like how to like trust more in the process?
How to trust more in the process. You just gotta realize that this is a marathon, and you gotta realize that all the artists that the older generation look up to now, like if you look at the Jay Z's, you look at the Nas's. I was there when I got. All right, like let's say the Nas and Jay Z battle. How old were you?
I probably was in 2001.
2001.
Yep, I was born 2002.
Okay, so I've seen them go through their thing, right? I was there. I remember being in school, hearing Ether, hearing Takeover, and just understanding, like my mind being blown at the time because it was the dopest thing you'd ever hear. And you see how they go through the ups and downs, and you realize that this is all just a marathon, and you see who outlasts. And when you really want to take this yourself in a career, you have to be expected to take those same ups and downs. They may not be as extravagant as these guys, because we in different levels right now. Like we on the underground, but we gonna take our wins and losses a certain way. And it's really all about how you react to it at the end of the day. Like there's gonna be good, there's gonna be bad, but the only thing that we can really control is how we react to it. So the sooner you remember that, or the sooner you realize that, the easier you'll make this whole process on you, and it'll really make things go a lot more in your direction. I feel you just kind of keep a positive mindset about it.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's no need to dwell on the stuff that you can't control because you can't control it. So thinking about it really does you no good. But if it's something that you can control, sure, focus on it. Focus on how you can do better next time. Focus how it may not happen again. You can avoid it and learn from others' mistakes. I think you definitely should appreciate the steps in your journey. Everything that happens, every type of show, every recording session, every collaboration you do with the artist, it all leads to making you a better person and better artist as well. So you definitely should just kind of appreciate the ride, enjoy the ride while you have it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I definitely think that kind of because I get to be on the artist side and kind of behind the scenes to
Hmm.
watch artists as well, to be able to see kind of like the growth in some artists. A lot of people on the scene, you have some that take the craft seriously and really kind of like eat, sleep, and breathe this, but then you also have the ones that kind of like just doing things to go through the
Yeah.
motions. So you as somebody that I see all the time, like putting in that 110% work because you're like a father as well. You
Yeah.
have your own side hustle going on, but then also you still putting in energy to be an artist as well.
Right.
So like, what would you say the difference is? Kind of like that old school drive to like really go out there and get it, like versus now with everybody like just getting rich quick.
Oh man, I think it's a shame everybody's trying to do it that way. Really, if you look at it, I kind of appreciate the old way because it's just more of a genuineness to it. Um, Nowadays, it's so much easier for everybody to just do what we do now with like AI. It's easier to just get stuff done.
Right.
Um, but yeah, like because of that, like the quality's not there. Everything just sounds like they're calling it microwave music.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a lot of that going on too. That's never fun. And let me see. As far as yeah, man. I mean, like I said, I'm a father too. Like I can't be out here every night uh, perform like I want to. Can't be out here at every studio like I want to or going to shows like I want to. So I make sure that the time that I do have, I'm making sure I get the most out of it. Like if I'm gonna collaborate or do something with the artist, it's got to be meaningful. It's got to go somewhere. And then when it is there, I'm gonna push it because this is time that I don't have with my kids right now that I could be spending. I got a 4-year-old right now that I could be playing Legos with, and I got a 13-year-old that I should be helping get ready for school again this week. You know, but that's the sacrifice you take because you know you're doing it for the betterment of them and
Right.
to build something for yourself and hopefully for them in the future. That's the whole reason about this. So I definitely learned that as I got older. Like I don't waste no time. Anything I'm doing outside the house and not with them, like it's for a good reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So as a family oriented person, and you kind of like comfortably set in like how you're maneuvering through the life that you have right now, what would you say is like your end goal to where you're comfortably where you at? Like, do you see yourself touring? Do you want to like what does that look like for you?
Yeah. So originally, when I was like, I would say about 10 years ago, my goal was to just have a solid fan base, tour around the world, and drop an album each year, and just keep that going. Because I've seen so many other of my favorite artists do that. They built a core fan base. They don't need millions of fans. They go hard with a couple 100,000, and they're able to go to every place, get their money, sell their merch, da 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 da, and move and be happy and live a great life, take care of their family and their kids, and all that stuff. I've seen that as I get older now. I realize how times have changed, how different it is now with the touring stuff, and just noticing that there's other ways to make money in the music industry besides being a touring performer. Like I've looked into stuff like sync licensing, looked into stuff like video creation. Like there's other ways and other hustles to be out here that you don't necessarily have to put 100% into your music. So I think I've grown a little bit with that. And it's also helped me become a better artist too, to have outside interests and then not just be focused on the music, but the other stuff that helps the music get made. That's actually helped a lot. So I think that's where it's changed for me. I just would look into other areas except just, I mean, aside from doing the stuff that I liked 10 years ago.
And how do you think that affects your music? Like, how does it like put a halt sometimes? Does it kind of like help where like it inspires you in a
Yeah,
way?
that's the drawback. So it does take away from me making the music, but it only gives me a better chance at like being more focused on the time that I do craft for it. Because before I would just be like, all right, whenever something comes, I'll just do it. Now I set aside an actual time. Like, no, I'm gonna. This is like I'm clocked in now. I'm gonna be working on music here at this time, and that's it. Like no ifs, ands, or buts, no interruptions. We get this done here and now, and that's good. And then I'll set up another time to get the rest done, so on and so forth. If I think of something in the meantime, I'll jot it down, save it for the actual session. That's the main thing that's helped change. Just put more of a focus on the time that I do set up for it.
Speaking of focus, I did want to ask you a question because you do have a single out now.
Yeah,
Focus.
yeah. Focus.
Where did you get Don't Wish Me Luck, but Wish Me Focus? I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, but what does that really
No,
mean
it's
to
cool.
you?
No, just talking to a friend, texting, telling a friend like, "Yo, I'm going to a show. Like, wish me luck." She was like, "I don't wish you luck. I wish you focus." And that shit was cold as hell. So I was like, "Yo, I'm rolling with that." She's like, "Yeah, yeah, whatever." And that was it. And then just turned it into a hook. My boy Money Bezo, he had the beat from this dude Lil Malik overseas, and I heard it and just wrote it at Bezo's house. And it was one of those records where like the first four bars, I was kind of like tearing up because I was talking about everything that I went through in my past year of moving from Jersey to here. It was like a culmination of like how I felt, what I was trying to do, my goals, my stuff I was afraid of, what I had to endure while I was over here, all that soul searching stuff, and then it just ended up being a cool record for me. And then it's been dope to perform and see how people have reacted to it. Like when people say like, "Yo, I don't tell people good luck no more. Like I just wish them focus." Like that shit means the world to me. You know, that's been dope, and it's been great to hear people relate to it. People that are younger than me, people that are older than me, people around my age, just be like, "Yo, I've been there. Like I felt that before. Like thank you for talking about that." So it's definitely been one of my more meaningful records because I used to just be like, I got the bars. I'm gonna just go over some dope beats and make some hip hop shit. But this is me like just telling you more about like the man that I am. So it's been a really great experience.
So in the space that you were writing this piece, do you feel like you kind of are more mindful of the type of music that you're putting out, just as far as like the lyrical side
Yeah.
and what you're leaving with people?
Yeah, I feel like it's just that time now to really like find more of my sound. For the past like 2 years, I've been trying to figure it out, and now I feel like I'm at a point where, okay, we found a little pocket that we can kind of showcase and really push your art, who you are as a person, but also show that you got some wordplay and you're good with the pen. So I found that nice mix now where I can make catchy music, melodic music, but also show you that I'm still nice with the bars and tell you about myself in the process and make some relatable music. What's that mean?
Yeah, I don't know that.
Yeah, all right.
Well, I do have one more question for
Yeah.
you. How do you think that the current culture right now, just like music in general, the way that the society is, how do you think that affects your music?
How does it affect my music? I just my music's in an oversaturated market. Like that's just how it is, and it's really up to the people that are able to not only make good music but find a way to push it to get through. Like there's just way too much. There's way too many people with home studios. There's way too many people with iPhone cameras trying to be superstars and trying to do shit. And then the really dope ones, you gotta take your time and look. And it's not just through playlists. Sometimes it's through a word of mouth. Sometimes it's through a random TikTok. But you find some dopeness, you gotta like appreciate it nowadays because there's so much whack shit.
Yeah.
There's so much whackness, and I hold my tongue. Coming over here from Jersey, I've seen my share of whackness. There's whackness everywhere. I'll just leave it at that. And I don't mean to be mean or hurtful to anybody, but that's just what it is. Like 90% of the stuff. Nah, let me not be like that. A good amount. Let's say good
90 is a
amount.
high number.
A good amount. And again, that's just my personal opinion. Everybody, someone else could say like, "Yo, I love all the shit." That's fine for you. But for me, just in what I like, what I appreciate, I don't think that's that much. But yeah, man, I think it's just a matter of having to work on how to really push your music and get through. But the great thing is with the internet, there's a lot of ways to do that. So it's really on you. On if you want to get approached out here, if you want to get noticed out here, you got to do your homework. You got to figure out a way to catch people's attentions, through your content, and then hopefully have them like your music enough that they want to spend some money on you, whether it be a show, whether it be merch, whether it's to see an interview. Just spend their time being a fan of you. Like that's what it's all about.
Gotta make people want to have.
Gotta make people want
to
to see what you got. Yeah. Now more than ever, like it's not just about your talent. It's about the other stuff, the intangibles. Like that's what people want to see nowadays.
That's such. I was about to say, do you have anything else to leave us off with? That was so perfect.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's pretty much what it is, man. You just gotta find a way to shine out here. That's what it comes down to.